think are 100% must starts going into this week 11 matchup right here in the NFL season. So, Tori, give me your first must start player of the weekend.
So, I never thought I would utter these words. Not this year. Maybe next year, but definitely not this year. You have Justin Fields. Justin Fields, the last 2-3 weeks, has been one of the top quarterbacks fantasy-wise that you could even ask for. And doing it with his legs, doing it with his arm, hands down, right now, Justin Fields, especially against a very suspect Atlanta defense, that game is my shootout pick of the weekend. For if you have fantasy players on those teams, you might want to start them this weekend because those are my picks for that game to be like a 38-34 type game because neither one of those defenses is very good. But yeah, Justin Fields, he went for a $134, a $175, ran for a couple of touchdowns, thrown for a couple of touchdowns. That is fantasy football heaven right there if you need a quarterback for the weekend.
Yeah, and like watching that Chicago game last week versus the Detroit Lions, Justin Fields is really that only offensive weapon that they have there, so they're going to continue to feed him over and over and over again. So give me the second player that is a must start this weekend.
I'm going to go over to Detroit actually, and not for the Buffalo and Cleveland game. I'm actually going to stick with with Detroit going on the road to actually play at the Giants. I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Again, if you haven't been paying attention, Amon-Ra St. Brown, when he's been healthy this year, been one of the top receivers in the league. He has been nicked up, been banged up, missed a couple of games, has screwed me in DraftKings a couple of times when he got banged up in those games. So I would tell you, you start him. Again, you have a Giants team that's kind of been overachieving all year, I think. Still, I'm on pace to have been just a year behind with them. So I would say though, start Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's Goff's number one target there, especially with Hockenson gone. Who else are they going to throw it to?
Right, and he is a player coming off of injury as well. So hopefully he is good for the fantasy push moving forward because I'm actually got him starting in most of my leagues this week after sitting him for the last couple. But give me that third and final player that you have circled as a must start this week.
I'm going to go with JJ. You have to go with Justin Jefferson. Again, another game potentially that could turn into a shootout. Minnesota's defense, for their record, Minnesota's defense is not that great. However, again, that is a defense that can be torn up there in Dallas. I mean, heck, my Packers, who are terrible, put up 31 on them and beat them. So, it's a defense that definitely can be taken apart. Justin Jefferson this year is lights out, hands down, the best receiver in the league without any competition this year. It is JJ. I mean, I'm just kind of being redundant at that point. If you're taking Justin Jefferson out of the lineup, he better be on his bye week. You don't ever put JJ on the bench.
Exactly. And
nobody puts baby in the corner.
And that is exactly how you do beat the Dallas Cowboys, and that is fight fire with fire, meaning go right at Micah Parsons, go right at Stephon Diggs, and I think that is what Kirk Cousins and the boys will do for the Minnesota Vikings this week. For checking out that man-hour clip, if you're interested in the next video, click the link right here. Of course, subscribe right here, and always join us Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. East Coast time, right here where you're watching this clip. And as always, Man Hour Nation, rise up.